Forget everything you think you know about tractors. We aren't talking about the standard farm equipment you are used to. We are about to face the true freaks of agricultural history. Have you ever seen a tractor that looks like a walking skeleton? Or an iron monster that needs a literal blowtorch just to wake up? Today we are uncovering 8 of the most bizarre, rare, and mind-bending antique tractors ever built. These machines defy logic and physics. You have to stay until number 8, because it is an Italian beast that sounds like a heartbeat. Before we fire up these engines, smash that subscribe button and comment "ready" down below. Buckle up, this is going to be a wild ride. Let's kick things off with a machine that proves great things come in small, rugged packages, the Oliver OC3. Produced from 1951 to 1957, this wasn't just a tractor, it was a tank for the farmer. While most neighbors were struggling with wheeled tractors sinking into the mud or slipping on steep hillsides, the owner of an OC3 was conquering impossible terrain. An evolution of the earlier Klettrek HG, the OC3 featured a crawler design that gave it exceptional traction and a low center of gravity. It looks almost cute by modern standards, sitting low to the ground, but make no mistake, this machine was an absolute workhorse designed for orchards, vineyards, and muddy logging trail where wheels simply dared not tread. What makes the Oliver OC3 truly fascinating from an engineering standpoint is its controlled differential steering system. Unlike many crawlers of the time that used simple clutch brake steering, which stopped one track completely to turn, the Oliver system kept power driving to both tracks even during a turn. This meant that even when you were hauling a heavy load of timber or pulling a plow through thick clay, you never lost momentum. It is typically powered by a reliable Hercules 9B 4-cylinder engine. And listening to it run is like listening to a sewing machine made of iron, rhythmic, steady, and unshakable. Seeing an Oliver OC3 restored today is a treat because it highlights a different philosophy of farming. It wasn't about being the biggest giant in the field, it was about being the most capable. The tracks distribute the weight so effectively that it barely compacts the soil. PSI is incredibly low. A feature that modern regenerative agriculture is trying to relearn. If you ever see one at a show, watch how it pivots. It's a nimble little beast that reminds us that sometimes tracks are superior to tires. From a crawler that looks like a tank, we move to something that looks like it came out of a mad scientist's backyard workshop. The Vaughan Flex Tread. Manufactured by the Vaughan Motor Company in Portland, Oregon in the 1930s and 40s, this is arguably one of the most unique garden tractors ever conceived. The Vaughan looks less like a tractor and more like a motorized frame designed to drag you through the dirt. It is a walk-behind tractor, which was common for the era, but the engineering implies a very specific ruggedness used for truck gardening and small acreage. The heart of the Vaughan is usually its proprietary air-cooled single-cylinder engine. The operator would walk behind this contraption, holding on to long handles, wrestling the iron beast through the soil. What makes it bizarre is the flex tread concept, which allowed for a certain amount of articulation and grip in uneven terrain. Some models featured aggressive steel wheels or distinct tread patterns designed to bite into loose soil. Operating a Vaughan flex tread wasn't just farming, it was a full-body workout. You had to be physically engaged with the machine, utilizing a clutch lever often mounted on the handle, balancing the torque of the engine against the resistance of the plow. Why is this on our list of the bizarre? Because it represents a time when mechanical exposure was the standard. Everything moves on the outside. You can see the valves tapping, the flywheel spinning, and the belts flapping. It is raw mechanical energy. For a collector, finding a complete Vaughan Flex Tread, especially with the original reverse fan, cooling shroud intact, is like finding gold. When you see one running, chugging slowly down a furrow with that distinct single-cylinder pop, you realize this machine wasn't built for comfort. It was built to ensure a family had food on the table through sheer mechanical leverage. Now we cross the Atlantic to Germany to witness a machine that defines the word robust, the Hanomag R40. When you look at the R40, the first word that comes to mind is indestructible. Produced by Hanomag in Hanover, this tractor is a heavyweight champion produced roughly between 1942 and 1950. The R40 is not flashy, It is stoic. It features a massive, blocky design that looks like it was carved out of a single piece of granite. During the critical years of European agriculture and transport, these tractors were the backbone, capable of pulling loads that would make modern tractors struggle. The technical marvel of the Hanomag R40 lies in its 5.2-liter, four-cylinder diesel engine, Model D52. Hanomag was a pioneer in diesel technology, and this engine is legendary for its low-end torque. It produces roughly 40 horsepower, which might not sound like much today, but with that massive displacement, these are heavy horses. The engine is understressed and known to run for decades. Listening to a Hanomag R40 idle is a religious experience for gearheads. It has a slow, thumping idle that shakes the ground, a deep, resonant thud, thud, thud that sounds more like a tugboat than a farm tractor. Another fascinating aspect is its versatility as a road tractor. In Germany, these were often equipped with high-speed gears and air brakes to pull multiple trailers of goods from farms to train stations, acting as road tugs. The Hanomag R40 is a testament to German over-engineering. It is heavy, it is complicated, and it is magnificent. Seeing one today is a reminder of an era where machines were built to last not just years, but generations. It is a rolling monument to industrial strength. Let's head down under to Australia for a tractor that is not just a farm implement, but a racing legend, the Chamberlain Champion. This isn't just any orange tractor, this is a national icon. The Chamberlain Champion 9G, specifically the famous unit nicknamed Tail End Charlie, proved that tractors could be fast, durable, and practically unbreakable. In the 1957 Redex Round Australia trial, Chamberlain wanted to prove the reliability of their Australian-made machines, so they entered this tractor into a grueling car rally. While cars were breaking down in the harsh outback, Tail End Charlie chugged along, towing other competitors out of the mud. The Champion is powered by a Perkins L4 diesel engine. While reliable, the real magic was in the gearing. Chamberlain tractors were famous for their ability to travel at high speeds. With the right gear ratios, often modified or using high road gears, these tractors could hit speeds of 50 to 60 miles per hour on the highway. Visually, it stands out with its bright orange paint and a very distinct, almost automotive-style grille. It looks friendly, but it is built for the harshest environment on Earth, the Australian bush. The frame is rigid, the tires are massive, and the cabin setup is open to the elements. But it's the Champion spirit that makes it bizarrely cool. Most tractors are designed to crawl. The Chamberlain could plow all day, then drive into town at highway speeds. It blurred the line between a truck and a tractor. For American viewers, the Chamberlain is a rare sight, but it is the muscle car of the tractor world. It represents the can-do attitude of Australian engineering. If you ever see a Chamberlain Champion, especially one with the 9G designation, pay your respects. You are looking at a machine that didn't just farm the land, it conquered a continent. Returning to American soil, we have a machine that holds a critical place in the evolution of row crop farming, the Farmall F12. Produced by International Harvester from 1932 to 1938, the F12 was the smaller sibling to the F20. Why is it on our bizarre list? Because of its spindly, skeletal proportions, especially when equipped with its original steel wheels. The F12 sits high on tall, narrow rear wheels and has the iconic tricycle narrow front end. When you see a skeleton wheel F12, it looks less like a vehicle and more like a giant mechanical insect. The F12 was designed to solve a specific problem: visibility. While it didn't have the offset engine of the later Cultivision models, the F12 was built narrow and high so the farmer could look directly down at the rows of corn or cotton passing beneath. The operator sat on a steel pan seat, bouncing on steel wheels, feeling every vibration of the four-cylinder gas engine. A unique mechanical feature was the steering shaft, which ran exposed along the top right side of the engine hood, connecting to the front bolster. It also featured independent rear braking, allowing the operator to lock one wheel and pivot the tractor on a dime at the end of a row. The F12 is significant because it made power farming accessible to smaller farms that previously relied on horses. However, looking at it now, with its lack of fenders, exposed flywheel, and precarious seating position, it seems wildly dangerous by modern standards. It captures the essence of 1930s industrial design: function over form, utility over safety. It's a beautiful piece of history that shows the exact moment when the horse was finally put out to pasture. Next up is the Case CC, a tractor that screams Art Deco style while being an absolute beast in the field. Produced by the J.I. Case Company from 1929 to 1939, the CC denotes the row crop version of the Model C. Historically accurate collectors know this machine best in its original Case Gray livery, though later models and restorations often feature the flambeau red. What makes the Case CC visually striking is the chicken roost steering mechanism found on many models. The steering column comes straight up and over, giving the operator a very specific upright driving position. The most innovative and somewhat bizarre feature of the Case CC was the motor lift. In an era where lifting a plow meant reaching back and yanking a giant lever with pure brute strength, Case introduced a mechanical lift system powered by the engine. It was a game changer, but the mechanism itself, a boxy housing on the side of the tractor, looks like a heavy industrial add-on. It clunks and engages with a mechanical violence that is satisfying to watch. The narrow front end of the CC is also iconic. The wheels are so close together they almost touch, allowing it to navigate through fields of tall corn. The sound of a Case CC is also distinct. It generally has a faster, snappier exhaust note compared to the slow chug of the John Deeres of the same era. When a Case CC is under load, it barks. It's a machine that demands attention. For collectors, the Case CC represents the perfect blend of style and substance. It has the beautiful flowing lines of 1930s automotive design. Note the stylized eagle on the radiator cap, applied to a machine meant to be covered in mud. Prepare yourself for the weirdest looking machine on this list, the Ruhrstahl Geräteträger. If you speak German, the name literally translates to tool carrier, and that is exactly what it is. Produced in the 1950s, visually, it looks like a tractor that is missing its middle. It is essentially a skeleton, a long, open, rectangular beam frame with an engine mounted all the way in the back, and the driver sitting high up above the rear axle. There is no hood in the front, no grille, just empty space. This bizarre design was intentional. The empty space in the middle of the frame allowed farmers to mount implements between the axles, right in front of the driver's feet. This offered unmatched visibility for precision hoeing and seating. Developed by Ruhrstahl and later associated with Hanemag in concept, it is the ultimate example of form follows function. You have the engine behind you, keeping the noise and exhaust away while you look down at the work area. It looks alien, spindly, and fragile, though the steel beam construction is surprisingly strong. The versatility of the Ruhrstahl Geräteträger was its selling point, but it also sealed its fate as an oddity. It was highly specialized. Driving it feels unnatural because the front wheels are so far away from the steering wheel, connected by long linkages. It feels like you are piloting a bridge. Today, seeing a Ruhrstahl at a tractor show draws a crowd instantly because people can't figure out where the rest of the tractor is. It remains one of the most unique silhouettes in agricultural history. Finally, we arrive at the grand finale, a monster from Italy, the Orsi Artiglio. Produced by Orsi in the 1930s and 40s and into the 50s, this is a hot bulb or semi-diesel tractor. This technology is ancient, fascinating, and incredibly bizarre to modern users. You cannot just turn a key to start this machine. You need a blowtorch. To start the Artiglio, which means talon or claw, you must heat the bulb on the cylinder head with a torch until it glows cherry red. Only then can you rock the massive flywheel back and forth to ignite the fuel. Once it starts, the Orsi Artiglio produces a sound that shakes your chest. Puff, puff, puff. It fires at incredibly low RPMs, often idling around 300-400 RPM. The Artiglio was designed for the heavy clay soils of Italy, relying on massive torque from a huge single-cylinder engine rather than high horsepower. The tractor itself is physically imposing, with a rounded organic shape and a massive flywheel on the side that looks like it belongs in a factory, not a field. Driving an Orsi is an art form. Because it is a two-stroke hot bulb engine, if you almost stall it on a hill, the engine can actually bounce back and start running in reverse. If the driver isn't paying attention, the air intake becomes the exhaust, and the tractor drives backward. It is dangerous, loud, and smells of unburnt diesel and oil. Essentially, it is perfection. The Orsi Artilio is the ultimate bizarre tractor because it feels alive. It requires heat to wake up. It speaks in a slow, thunderous language, and it pulls with the strength of a locomotive. We have just explored 8 of the most bizarre mechanical marvels in agricultural history. From the skeleton-like design of the Ruhrstahl to the thunderous roar of the Orsi Artilio, these antique tractors prove that engineering genius often looks a little crazy. Which one was your absolute favorite? Would you dare to hand crank the Hanomag or race the Chamberlain? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please smash that like button and subscribe right now for more deep dives into rare machinery. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.